If you're a person where all your friends come to you with their problems, that's because they see something in you. You're more balanced and stable. But you got to remember this old saying. If you're the smartest person in your group, you need a new group. You've got to upgrade your friends. It ain't nothing bad. You just got to upgrade people in your life. But if you're the smartest person in your group, you need a new group. You cannot be the go-to person in the group.
You want to begin to get all the toxic people out of your life.
There are a lot of bridges in our life, right? A lot of things in our life, a lot of people in our life. And sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, sometimes the people closest to you, sometimes it's strangers. But there are always people in our life that leads us back to something that's not good for our life. I want you to think about this for a second. Maybe it's not now in your life. Maybe it's a point in time in your life where you had a lot of bridges. And sometimes that bridges you. Like, let's be real. But you had a lot of bridges in your life. Bridges mean connections and relationships that are leading you to a lesser you. So I want you to think about this right now. I want you to think about people in your life that aren't bringing to your life. And I don't mean they have to bring something incredible. But sometimes we have people in our life that bring nothing but drama, nothing but gossip, nothing but rumors, nothing but low self-esteem, nothing but low integrity, nothing but negativity, all these things. And we choose to keep these bridges up in our life. And I want to just tell you this, it's just facts. And you got to know this. The longer you keep bridges in your life that need to be burned, the more you prevent your life from building the bridges that need to be built. Some of us on here, listen, you were created incredible, but some of us on here have believed the lies. We believe the lies that people have told us. We believe the lies how people treat us. We believe the lies what this world has given us, and we live a lie our whole entire life. Most of us on here, if you're in this place, you are not living the life that God gave for you. You're living the life that other people created for you. You're living the life that pain created for you. You're living the life that negativity created for you. You're living the life that all these things have created for you. Now when you look at yourself, you don't even recognize who you are because you kept so many bridges in your life. And I get it. Trent, it's so hard. Trent, you don't understand. Trent, I've been around these people so long or had this job so long. Let me tell you something. Don't let the history keep you in the misery. Don't let the length of the friendship keep you in the friendship. That's terrible for your life. Like, it comes to a point. I'm not always talking about, oh, get rid of people. But I know when you keep toxic things in your life, you're going to feel toxic.
If you decide you want to be rich, all you got to do is start. Why not? Who gonna stop you? Unless you tell it to the wrong person. Mama, listen to me. I'm going to be rich. Ain't anybody rich in this family. Go in there and sit down somewhere. Get yourself a good job. Oh, mama, you must be right. No, mama could be wrong. Because what you have in your imagination, God didn't show it to your mama. I'm sorry. He showed it to you. Listen to me. If y'all don't do nothing else, write everything you imagine down. Write it all down. Pray about it and watch what happens.
Energy drainers, get them out of your life. See, ladies and gentlemen, it takes a lot of energy to reach your goal. It takes a lot of emotional, mental, and spiritual energy to reach your goal. And you can run faster with 100 who want to go than with one around your neck.
I want to talk to you today about connecting with the right people. Your destiny is too big to get there on your own. God has already arranged certain people to speak faith into you. He's placed in your path people to inspire you, to challenge you, to help you grow and accomplish your dreams. But the reason some people never reach their highest potential is because they never get away from the wrong people. Everyone cannot go where God is taking you. You've got to connect with people that understand your destiny, people that appreciate your uniqueness, people that can call forth your seeds of greatness, not people that are always pushing you down, telling you what you can't become, never giving you their approval, no matter how good you do. Life is too short to drag people along. If you will get the wrong people out of your life, then God will bring the right people into your life. And some of you, the only thing that's holding you back is your inner circle. The people that are closest to you, they're with you, but they're not really for you. You're constantly having to persuade them that you're okay and convince them to get on board. You're spending all your time and energy on someone that doesn't understand your destiny. Your time is too valuable to spend it with people that are not 100% for you. It's not the quantity of friends that's important. It's the quality of friends. I would rather have 2 good friends that I know are for me 100% than to have 50 friends that are only for me 80%.
There's no way I can help myself. There's no way I can help the people who deserve my help if I'm keeping things in my life that's making me feel helpless. You have to guard your heart. You have to burn every single bridge that leads your life back to destruction. You have to burn every single bridge that leads your life back to negativity. You have to burn every single bridge that leads your life back to low self-esteem. And the more that you don't know who you are, the more that you don't tap into guarding your heart, because you're letting people stump on your heart, you're letting people take advantage of your life, the more you're doing that, then you're not going to have confidence in yourself, and you're going to believe the lies that people have told you. Like, straight up. You have believed the lies that someone else has told you. You let a broken person break you. You let a person that don't know how to love break you. You let a person that don't know what loyalty is break you. Am I telling that you have to have a perfect relationship or friendship? Absolutely not. Mistakes are going to be made in this life, but the same mistakes shouldn't be repeated, because when you repeat the same mistakes, and this is as a personal message too, when you repeat the same mistakes over and 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 over again, it is not a mistake. It has become a choice. Someone is choosing that action over and over and over again.
You need to evaluate who's on your team, who's speaking into your life, who you're giving your time and energy to. In other words, who you eating lunch with every day at the office, who you're talking to on the phone so much. Are they building you up or tearing you down? Are they inspiring you to go further, or are they telling you what you can't do? No, don't spend your time with people that don't make you better. Some of you don't realize how much that one negative influence is holding you back. You don't know how much more you would accomplish, how much more you would grow, how much more you would enjoy life if you just make necessary changes.
There are two kinds of relationships: nourishing relationships and toxic relationships. Nourishing relationships are the relationships that inspire you. They motivate you. They bring the best out of you. Toxic relationships are relationships with people that always criticize you. All they can do is find fault. All they can do is just exploit your weaknesses. All they can do is remind you of the mistakes that you've made in the past. These people are bad for your health. Toxic people can run your blood pressure up. One apple can spoil a whole barrel. One negative energy drainer can spoil your whole life. I know people whose lives have been ruined because somebody wasn't good for them. See, there are some people that aren't good for you. They aren't good for you. You've got to get them out of your life.
Everybody cannot be a loser. Some people have to be successful. So in my reality, I'm successful. So I hate when they use that, oh, let's be realistic. You never did this before. You never did that. Blah, blah, blah. Come on. They can't see from themselves, so there's no way they can see it for you. Think about that, guys. If these people never been successful, how can you really expect them to support you and want you, to get to that next level and be successful? They never saw for themselves. They never had it. So just keep that in mind when talking to friends and family.
You need to make sure the people in your inner circle believe in who you are. They celebrate your gifts, and they're pushing you further, not holding you back. Some of you today, if you don't very kindly and politely show someone the door, they're going to keep you from becoming all God's created you to be. Well, you say, Joel, what if I hurt their feelings? What if they keep you from your destiny? What if they keep you from accomplishing your dreams and making a difference in our generation? I can't think of anything worse than to come to the end of our life and realize we have not become what God's created us to be. And a lot of times we think, I know this person is not a good influence. I know they're keeping me from growing. But if I make a change, I may not have any friends. I may be lonely. And yes, you may be lonely for a season, but you never give up something for God that He doesn't give you something back better in return. If you'll make the change, God will not only give you new friends, He'll give you better friends. Friends that you don't have to wonder, are they for me or against me? Friends that don't try to manipulate you into who they want you to be, but they celebrate you and help you become who God's created you to be.
Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction? Good question. What are you going to do starting tomorrow that'll make a difference? Now see, if you don't do something starting tomorrow that'll make a difference, guess what? It's gonna be the same. And see, that way you can guess what the next 5 years are going to be like. Look at the last 5. Because the next 5 are going to be like the last 5 unless you, major key, tomorrow, change it all. Or change a little, or change something, or don't change. It's choice time. You can do whatever you want. Major step to human progress. Discipline. If there's one thing to get excited over, that's it. Get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. What could you make yourself do starting tomorrow that would change it all? No! Tell. Now, see, that's exciting. On any given day, you can massively change the direction of your life. Murder is a clear example that any one person on any given day can forever alter the course of their life. It just happens to be a negative act. But just as sure as you can commit a negative act, you can also commit a positive act and forever alter your life. Whenever you wish. Now that's exciting. And whatever that act might be that changes your life. The guy finally takes a shotgun to his car and blows out every window, destroys every tire, puts 100 rounds in this shabby old thing. And he says, I have driven this embarrassing thing for the last time. And not only will I never drive it again, nobody else will ever drive it again. And he lets that shuddering thing stand there for a while as a monument to the day he said, today my life changes. Now who can do that? Anybody. When can you do it? Whatever day you pick. Now here's the key to discipline. Start with the little disciplines. Get excited over the little disciplines. And get right on those, because those will lead to the big ones. You can't handle the big challenges in life unless you take on the little ones. Make a list of all the things you can do. Get right on those. Discipline yourself for those. Both for the results and for the muscle and for the practice. So that when life hands you some big challenges, you'll be ready, you'll have the muscle. But see, if you don't handle the small ones, you can't take care of the big ones.
There is a blessing in everything. Behind every moment of adversity in your life, there is a blessing and a lesson. Every moment of adversity has those two things. Pain always leaves a gift. Always. It's not going to change for you. It's COVID for everybody. Say just you. Your world 42 ain't finna crumble because you got to change your career. You have to change your career. You just said it in the question. Maybe it was time for you to move on. Somebody sent me a plaque one day that said, don't worry about the people that God has removed from your life. He saw things you didn't see. He heard conversations you couldn't hear. And he made moves you wouldn't make.
Well, that took some doing. I went to the bank in the town where I lived and walked in to open my account. I went to the window and told the lady I wanted to open up a savings account. She said, great. What is your name? I said, Mr. Rohn. She said, fine, Mr. Rohn, just fill out these papers. I filled them out, handed them back to her, and she said, that's all in order. Now, how are we going to get this account started? I said, put 10 in. She said, 10 what? I said, $10. Now, can you imagine the scene? I'm a grown man, 25 years old. I have a family. I'm working and opening up my first savings account with $10. I said, hey, this may not seem like much, but I have a great plan. In fact, before long, I'll probably have the largest savings account in this bank. She said, well, if you say so. It was a bit embarrassing, I must admit, but Schultz said, get excited about where you're going and excited about the fact that you are one of the few who have a wealth plan in place and working. To make a long story short, guess what? Within less than 3 years, I did have the largest savings account in that bank. Now, it was just a small country bank, but I did reach my goal. What magic! And how quickly it works once you develop a new plan and a new attitude and commit to the discipline to do it. Wealth plans, anyone can have them. Wealth goals, anyone can design them. Wealth habits and disciplines, anyone can develop them. The management of time, Wouldn't you agree? This has to be one of the master keys to wealth and happiness. I was in South Africa for a lecture tour some years ago, and I picked up this short article by Arnold Bennett on the subject of time. I thought it was excellent, and I'd like to share it with you now. Time, he wrote, is the inexplicable raw material of everything. With it, all is possible. Without it, nothing. The supply of time is truly a daily miracle, an affair genuinely astonishing when one examines it. You wake up in the morning and lo, your purse is magically filled with 24 hours of the unmanufactured tissue of the universe of your life. It is yours. It is the most precious of possessions. No one can take it from you. It is unstealable. And no one receives either more or less than you receive. In the realm of time, there is no aristocracy of wealth and no aristocracy of intellect. Genius is never rewarded by even an extra hour a day. And there is no punishment. Waste your infinitely precious commodity as much as you will, and the supply will never be withheld from you. Moreover, you cannot draw on the future. Impossible to get into debt. You can only waste the passing moment. You cannot waste tomorrow. It is kept for you. You cannot waste the next hour. It is kept for you. I have said the affair is a miracle. Is it not? You have this 24 hours of daily time to live. Out of it, you want to spend health, pleasure, money, content, respect, and the evolution of your immortal soul. Its right use, its most effective use, is a matter of the highest urgency and of the most thrilling actuality. All depends on that. Your happiness, the elusive prize that you are all clutching for, my friend, depends on that.
A friend of mine named Lorraine had me to come to do an intervention with her brother that was addicted to drugs, and he told us to get out of his house. And as we were going down the steps, I said, "I'm sorry, I failed. I'm so disappointed." And she said something that I'll never forget. I want you to remember. She said, "Les, most people won't participate in their own rescue." Wow. Most people won't participate in their own rescue. You have a vehicle that will allow them to create their own job. You have products that people need. You have training and coaching where they'll be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. You have leadership of people who've proven that it's possible. You can live your dreams. It's possible. You got a shot at creating a fortune. Everybody's not going to do it. We can't predict performance. And all you are saying, hey, listen, here's an opportunity. And don't take it personal when people say no to you. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to themselves. They're saying no to living a bigger life. They're saying no to what's going on in their head because they're suffering from possibility blindness. They can't see themselves doing more. They don't want to do that extra work. So they're saving you some time. They know they're trifling and don't want to work. Don't try and convince them to say yes. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. This is hard work. H-A-R-D and H-E-A-R-T. Hard work and hard work. You got to gut this out. You've got to know your vitamin. You've got to fail your way to success. You've got to be unstoppable. You have to operate like Willie Jolly, who said a setback is a setup for a comeback. You've got to be relentless when you're building a business. You've got to be able to have courage after you face rejection again and again and again. After somebody tell you they're going to show up and then they don't come, they don't return your calls. It takes courage to go out and start talking. It takes courage when creditors the bill of breathing down your neck and family members saying, "Oh, there he goes again with another pyramid scheme." Am I making sense to you? What I'm doing? I didn't do this for 14 years because I didn't have the courage. I was afraid of being rejected because I don't have a college education. I have tremendous inferiority complex. And something else. In order to make this business successful, to go from a 9 to 5 to 5 until you faint, it's a different mindset. It requires a radical change.
The inconsistency of humanity. And no, I'm not making excuses for sin. And no, I'm not taking down for righteousness. And yes, holiness is still right. It's just that we are not holiness. We are human. Holiness is still right. But that don't mean I'm always right. Holiness is right, but humanity goes wrong. And some of you that's hollering holiness is right, you got some stuff too, because I grew up with you. And I know that I got the receipts. You ain't so such about. Don't tell me you so such about. Just because your dress go down to the floor don't mean you can't yank it up. It don't mean. I found out a long time ago. Dresses that go down, go up. Y'all ain't gonna talk back to me this morning because y'all won't stand by the truth. But Jesus said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Them church hats come off. Yes, they do. And prayer caps and prayer bonnets, all of that stuff comes off. Because when you strip all of that down, you're human. You have to wrestle every day between your holiness and your humanity, between your intention and your realities. Come on, talk to me, somebody. Because this that I am preaching about today is just as real as anything you want to talk about. The inconsistencies of man. That's why marriages fail. Because you married an idea. And you went home with a man. You married a concept, but you went home with a woman, a flawed woman, a flawed man, who don't always tell you everything they ought to tell you, who's not always open about what they ought to be open with, who's a mother and may really love her kids, but may not be a great mother, may only be a good mother, may be a fair mother, may be a bad mother, but a mother nonetheless, may be a great mother, not a great wife, he may be a great father, not a great husband, and all of a sudden, can you live with somebody who is disappointed? Do you have the kind of love that runs off the porch to grab and hug a funky son with tracks in his arm or a dress around his waist? Do you have the kind of love that Jesus was talking about in the Bible? Peter was warming himself by the fire of the people he used to fight. Watch out for people who fight stuff all the time. Because when you're always preaching about something, when you always talking about something, don't be surprised when you find them warming themselves by the fire of the very thing. Y'all ain't gonna help me preach this morning. Y'all not gonna help me preach this morning. But I'm dealing with some stuff this morning that's deep, and it may be dark, but it's true, and it's eating at us. It's eating at us. It is not what we are eating that's making us gain weight. It's what's eating at us. It's eating at our peace. It's eating at our rest. It's eating at our joy. It's eating at our marriages. It's eating at our careers and our commitments and our self-esteem. And somebody has got to preach about shame, because the suicide rates are going up while we are quiet and silent and politically correct and beating our tambourines and dancing all over the world. Our kids are blowing their brains up, and I will not keep silent.